As the 2024 US presidential election approaches, one name has been rising to the forefront of national politics: Vice President Kamala Harris. With a level of momentum that many in Washington didn't anticipate, Harris has quickly become a powerhouse in her own right. Despite the challenging landscape of American politics, filled with intense polarization, economic concerns, and international instability, Harris has managed to capture the hearts and minds of millions, emerging as a candidate with significant backing from diverse demographics, particularly young voters, women, and minority communities. Harris's candidacy is historic in many ways. If she wins, she would become the first female, first Black, and first South Asian president of the United States. This alone has electrified her base, and her unprecedented rise is seen as both a symbol of progress and a beacon of possibility for a future where leadership in America more accurately reflects its diverse population. But her appeal goes beyond her background. Her charisma, her legislative record, and her unapologetic advocacy for social justice issues have created a broad coalition of support that could propel her to the highest office in the land. While many may have written off Kamala Harris after the early days of the Biden administration, citing a lack of visibility or questioning her political instincts, the tides have dramatically shifted in her favor. Now, as the 2024 election heats up, Harris is proving that she is not only a formidable candidate but also the unifying force America needs. A closer look at the dynamics of her campaign reveals why Harris seems to be gaining significant traction and appears poised to win in 2024. One of the most significant elements of Harris's candidacy is her ability to bridge gaps across multiple voter demographics. In a nation that has become increasingly divided along partisan and racial lines, Harris has worked hard to be the candidate of unity, advocating for policies that resonate with both traditional Democrats and progressive voters looking for bold reform. Her background as both a woman of color and an experienced public servant has enabled her to connect with a broad range of communities that feel underrepresented in the political conversation. Her platform emphasizes economic justice, education reform, healthcare access, and social equality, all issues that have long been important to African American and Latino voters, key segments of the Democratic base. At the same time, her support among younger voters has been remarkable. Many see Harris as a champion for future generations, with her focus on climate change, student debt relief, and modernizing the economy. Polls have consistently shown that Harris's appeal has grown steadily since she became vice president. Among younger voters, her support has surpassed expectations, thanks in large part to her progressive stance on climate change, LGBTQ+ rights, and healthcare. For many, Harris represents a chance to enact sweeping change and address the pressing issues that will define the future of the country. Economic concerns have dominated the national conversation as Americans grapple with inflation, wages, job insecurity, and rising healthcare costs. Harris's leadership during the Biden administration in navigating economic recovery has earned her praise, particularly for the administration's efforts to pass the American Rescue Plan and make inroads on issues like universal childcare and paid family leave. With the U.S. economy showing signs of recovery in key sectors, including job growth, Harris has been able to pivot her campaign to highlight the positive aspects of the Biden administration's economic policies. She has framed herself as a candidate who understands the struggles of everyday Americans and is committed to improving their quality of life by making the economy work for everyone, not just the wealthy and corporate interests. Her focus on addressing the needs of working-class families has gained traction, especially among voters in critical swing states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, where issues such as job security and healthcare access are top concerns. Harris's push for affordable healthcare, expanded child tax credits, and support for small businesses has resonated with these voters, especially those who feel that their needs were overlooked in the past. Harris has always been outspoken on issues related to racial justice, women's rights, and LGBTQ+ equality. As one of the first women of color to serve as vice president, she brings a unique perspective to these critical issues, making her an inspiring figure for marginalized communities. Her early leadership on the campaign trail focused on pushing for police reform, raising the minimum wage, and ensuring equal access to healthcare, especially for communities of color. The Black Lives Matter movement, which gained prominence during the Trump administration, continues to resonate strongly with Harris's base. As a former prosecutor and California Attorney General, she has faced criticism for her tough-on-crime stance, but she has worked to evolve and embrace a more restorative justice approach, seeking to balance accountability with rehabilitation. Her work to address systemic racism, as well as her efforts to address disparities in education, housing, and healthcare, has helped solidify her standing among African American voters. Beyond race, Harris's commitment to gender equality and women's rights, especially in the wake of Roe v. Wade being overturned, has proven to be another cornerstone of her appeal. Women's reproductive rights are at the forefront of the 2024 election, and Harris has been a vocal advocate for protecting those rights at the federal level. Her leadership on this issue has galvanized many women to get involved in the political process and vote in record numbers. In addition to domestic concerns, global events have had a profound impact on the 2024 election. The rise of authoritarianism, global security threats, and the ongoing war in Ukraine have put pressure on American leadership to step up and assert its role on the world stage. Harris, with her deep understanding of both domestic and foreign policy, has positioned herself as a steady, pragmatic leader capable of navigating these complex challenges. While President Biden has taken the lead on foreign policy, Harris has consistently been his trusted partner, helping to shape the administration's response to international crises. She has built strong relationships with leaders around the world, advocating for diplomacy over conflict and working to strengthen America's global alliances. Her experience in handling delicate international negotiations, from climate change agreements to trade deals, has bolstered her reputation as a capable leader on the world stage. One of Harris's most powerful assets is her grassroots organizing network. Her campaign has seen an impressive surge in fundraising, with small-dollar donations pouring in from across the country. This is a testament to the enthusiasm her candidacy has generated, especially among progressives and younger voters. Harris's ability to connect with people on a personal level and make them feel that their voices matter has been a key part of her appeal. Her campaign has embraced technology to reach voters through digital platforms, social media, and virtual town halls. From Twitter to TikTok, Harris has tapped into the digital space to amplify her message and mobilize supporters, particularly among younger demographics who are more likely to engage with politics through online channels. Her team has worked tirelessly to reach voters in key battleground states through targeted ads, voter registration drives, and community outreach. Despite the growing strength of Harris's campaign, the 2024 election is far from a sure thing. Her primary competitors, Republican candidates like former President Donald Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, are formidable in their own right and have their own substantial bases of support. Donald Trump, despite facing numerous legal challenges, continues to maintain a strong grip on the Republican Party. His populist message, focused on nationalism, immigration reform, and opposition to woke culture, continues to resonate with a significant portion of the electorate. Trump's rallies draw massive crowds, and his ability to energize a loyal following cannot be underestimated. However, his polarizing nature and ongoing legal battles present risks that could impact his chances in 2024. Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, has been positioning himself as the more traditional conservative alternative to Trump. DeSantis has capitalized on his record in Florida, particularly his hardline stance on issues like education, COVID-19, and immigration. His campaign has worked to present him as a steady hand who can lead the country back to what many conservatives see as traditional American values. However, his challenge will be in rallying voters who are still loyal to Trump, while simultaneously appealing to moderate Republicans and independents who are wary of the former president's controversies. While both Trump and DeSantis have strong followings, their positions are increasingly becoming more polarized, and they struggle to expand their appeal beyond their core base. In contrast, Harris has managed to craft a campaign that speaks to both the center-left and progressive factions of the Democratic Party, while also appealing to moderates and independents who are disillusioned by the extremism in both parties. This unique blend of coalition building could be her ticket to victory. As we head toward Election Day in November 2024, the race remains fluid, and anything can happen in the final months of the campaign. Harris's popularity will likely continue to rise, but she will also face fierce opposition from Republicans determined to regain the White House. Voter turnout will be critical, as swing states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Arizona will be battlegrounds where every vote counts. For Harris, the key will be to continue energizing her diverse coalition while also reaching out to undecided voters and moderates. The 2024 election could very well be a referendum on the future of American democracy and the direction of the country, an opportunity for Harris to lead the nation into a new chapter of progress, unity, and hope. If her current momentum holds, 2024 could be the year Kamala Harris breaks through the ultimate glass ceiling and becomes the 47th President of the United States.